A lot of people want to, like you said, put everything into a solver and reduce something into a vacuum and navigate that situation. And I don't really have a passion for that. I have a passion for like what's happening in this moment, what's happening with this person, what's happening with me, what are they perceiving me as? And, in that moment, Doug had gotten some confidence around a couple hands, and there was a player in between that I knew he didn't think much of his hand, and he didn't think much of my hand, and it seemed like an obvious situation for him to pull it away from me. And I thought about re-raising all in pre-flop just to simplify it, yeah. and I think that was probably a better way to do it. But at the same time, I do a lot of things for the fun of it. And I thought it'd be a little bit more fun to get him in a spot later on a couple streets down where I could, bluff him out or call him down. So.
And did he have a tell on the turn? Or?
Yeah. He goes 75,000, like kind of directly. And about an hour and a half before then, he had the same tonality, same cadence, and he was just airballing the situation. And there was just a myriad of things where it was like, that might be something, I'm not sure. That might be something, I'm not sure. Well, here's a lot of things that might be something, and I'm pretty sure that the combination of them leads him to this.
What happens if you call
situation.
And he shows pocket jacks or something? So, and then do you, like in those spots where you call off and you lose, how do you process losing $700,000 that way? Do you think this is so stupid? Why did I do that? Or are you saying, what's the self-talk? What's the internal monologue?
I guess I don't know where it came from, but I wanted to always kind of have a sense of humor around whatever happens to me. The things I can't control, the things I can control. If I put myself in a spot, I've gotten to a point where I can immediately recognize how ridiculous what I just did was and kind of laugh about it.
And be okay with it.
Yeah, sure.
So you're forgiving yourself during the hand?
Yeah, there'll be like an internal part that's just like, yeah, of course, that was stupid.
This is so dumb.
Why am I doing this? So dumb to do that.
So to be able to pull off the hands you pull off, you have to have a I don't give a shit kind of attitude about this is all a game. I don't take it too seriously because that's where fear comes from.
It's about mastering the fear. Yeah, I think I just recognize that people make bad decisions when they're scared, and that's why I like.
But sorry, say that again. Mastering fear. You put in reps. How do you put in reps to master fear? Because that extends to many other things in life.
Right, absolutely. Like we talked about this in investing, and different strategies about how big of a bet you want to make relative to your bankroll and venture and stuff like that. Well, I like making the bet where if it doesn't work out, I'm in a little bit of trouble.
Right. You
like to feel the pain.
No, you like that it feels real.
Yeah, it's a motivator. It's something that drives, and I like poker. I'll put myself in the same type of situation.
Just like 2 years ago, Keating calls me. He's like, "Hey, this is like about portfolio construction and like a specific company. We won't say the company. We talk for a hour, and I'm trying to give him my best advice. Look, here's how you structure it to minimize volatility. Take some of these chips off the table, do this, do that." He goes, "I really appreciate this." Calls me 2 days later. Yeah, so I doubled down on this thing and I just put it all away. I was like,
okay. Throw that modern portfolio management out the window.
You don't know this, but I've tripled down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Well, here's the interesting.
What was your purpose in calling him then? So if you felt that was where you were going to go, why are you checking it? Were you trying to check your sanity, or like what were you doing there? Why do you check?
I'm inviting him to the deep end. I'm saying.
No, you're talking about me?
I'm asking why he called you.
Oh, why he called
I thought you were talking about Doug Polk.
No, I'm asking why you called Chamath in that situation where you're going to double down, triple down. You really don't, like, what was the...
I have access to someone that's like infinitely smarter than me at the thing that I'm trying to understand, right?
You're jumping in the deep end.
Yes.
Why are you asking him, like, should I jump in the deep end first?
Because I want to earmark like all the reasoning, right? I'm trying to understand everything about this decision because I'm going to live with the outcome of that decision no matter what, right? So I want to remember his take, my feelings, other people's thoughts, and I want to put that into like a little bit of folder that I could come back to.
You unconsciously, or you've discovered something which is referred to as super forecasting in like behavioral sciences, which is if you write down and you understand all the permutations of your decision making and then you reflect on it years from now, you'll just be better at decision making. So that's actually what you're doing. And I think it just comes natural to you. And you were going to say, when you thought the question was about the poke hand, about inviting him to the deep end.
Yeah.
Unpack that concept of saying, hey, we both know that this hand's out of control. We're in the deep, dark waters.
Right.
There could be sharks in there. Explain what you're doing. Because I've been in hands with you where I feel like you just dragged me out to the deep water, where I've got jacks or queens, and then all of a sudden I'm going to be playing for my entire stack, and they don't feel good anymore, even though I have an overpair to the board or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I just think there's some purity or beauty in the chaos after you get past where everyone's prepared. And I'm interested in that space, and I have no interest in the space that everyone's prepared.
Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.